Okay guys, right now we're going to be putting in a high pressure, high flowing oil pump. So I'm excited to get that all put in here and see what the oil pressure difference is. Right now it idles about 46 when it's cold, and then it'll go down into the 20s when it's warm. So I just want to get that up probably about 10 psi, so we'll throw that other pump in and see what happens. I got the whole front half of the motor taken off. I got the harmonic balancer pulled off, and I got the front cover pulled off. So I'll be ready here to swap in the new oil pump, which is sitting right there. And then I also got a new oil pump retainer, like extra little piece to help it seal up better. So we'll double check the O-ring there and then just throw in that newer pump and we should be good to go. Okay, I have all the oil pump stuff off, ready to go in. Got the O-ring, have the extra bracket, and the pump, and then the gaskets that I'll need to put it back together. I'm also going to replace the crank seal while we're at it, so should be good. Okay, the new pump is in. I got the front cover on, new seal in. So I'm going to go ahead and then test the oil pressure. I did prime the pump, put oil in it. So I did take the fuse out of the fuel pump, and then I took the coil packs off and turned it over, and it was building pressure. So we'll just do a quick check and see kind of what the idle oil pressure is now. It used to be around 44, so we'll see what it is with the new pump. Alright, we got 56, 58 psi, so a big jump in oil pressure, so we're good to go. Okay, we're back down on the ground, got the coolant hooked back in it. Just going to run it here and get it up to temperature, but I think everything's looking pretty good. Let's see here. Yep, 58 psi. It's great. Just added one of the best mods you can do to the Ford Focus. I'll show you in a second. Let's go ahead and pop the hood. The hood strut rods. Found them on eBay super cheap. I had the nice ones on that car, but then just wanted to get the cheap ones just to make it work on this. But it's so much nicer not having that prop rod and having to deal with holding that up all the time. So this is great. Highly recommend. I ended up just wrapping in a piece in the middle here, so you can kind of see it when the door's shut. Kind of line that up. And then I brought the graphic up into the window, which is how I originally had it, but when we first printed it, we just kind of cut that off. And then I redid the inlay on this side. So instead of cutting it, I just ran it over the top and then lined it up, so there's just this little bit of a line here. So yeah, and then I also put a piece on the inside here, just so that you can kind of, you know, when the door's shut, it looks a little bit better there. Yeah, so I'm going to do the other side and then add a few other things to it, but it's looking pretty good. I wrapped all the door handles, so that looks way better, having those wrapped in. And then on this side, I also wrapped in the middle gap here, so that looks way nicer now, especially with the door shut. And then I re-wrapped in there, so that's kind of matching now. And then I redid this stripe here, so now it used to be two pieces because we ran out of material, but now it's just one continuous piece, and it goes all the way down to the bottom, so it looks a lot better. And then here's the other side with the door handles wrapped, so that looks a lot nicer. And then with the middle piece wrapped, and then I added the pieces up on the window too, so it's really coming together here. So just doing a little touch-ups here and there. I'm going to fix a few more pieces, but it's really coming along. I think I got most of the wrap stuff taken care of. Got the sides all done, got the back bumper strip put on. Next thing I've got coming is a NRG quick disconnect hub and wheel. That'll make it a little bit easier to get in and out of. And I'll probably reconfigure the dash a little bit, try to push it forward some. I don't know, I'll play around with that a little bit. I got to trim a little bit on the rear fenders, make it so it's not rubbing, and then do a little bit of trimming up here. And then the next thing will be to put in the motor that's getting built right now. So there's going to be a new motor that I'm putting in it. It's still going to be an LS1, but it'll have ported heads, cam, high compression pistons, and a lot of other good stuff. So it should be really awesome when it's done. So definitely stay tuned. The quick disconnect wheel on. Had to get some NRG stickers put on, but this is going to be great. It's going to make it getting in and out a lot easier. I also deleted the bottom part of the dash. But yeah, here's the hub adapter, and then the wheel itself. And then we'll be able to just put that on pretty easily. And then clicks in, we're good to go. Horn works. Everything's all good. So I really like it. It's going to be, the wheel feels a lot better than the original one. It's a little bit smaller. I like the grips here. So yeah, I'm really excited to get that on there. Just waiting for a couple of resistors to get rid of the airbag light, but everything else is good to go. Okay, first time driving it after doing the straight pipes. So it's super loud now. It's complete straight through exhaust from the manifolds back, so this is great. Okay, so I shortened the column about 8 inches. I moved it forward and then raised it up. So I'll show you guys in a little bit, but basically I cut all this out, and you can see it used to come all the way out to here, but now I cut this off, and then I'm going to make a mounting bracket to put it right here. Then I'll cut a lot of this out, but this is going to be a lot easier to get in and out of. Okay, this is my shortened steering column, so you can see how much we took out of it here. Here's the wheel angle sensor, and then I cut this shaft down, and then I cut this tube down, and then just welded this bracket back on. Cut this off, and then that'll go in the car. And then I cut this off. But yeah, this pushed the steering wheel about 8 inches or so forwards, which will be a lot nicer for how this car is set up. Another sheet of the Sign Alumilite. I'm going to be using that to make version 2 of the dash. So what I've been doing in here is I moved the steering column forward 8 inches, and then I raised it about 4 inches, and then I built a frame using parts from the old dash and then parts of this angle iron, and I really secured it a lot better to the car to hold that in, and then that's big plate steel welded to the old dash frame. And then I used the old dash, the other sheet that I used on the top, underneath, and then I put some sound insulation and heat insulation on it on the top and the bottom, and then that should help out a lot. So now I just got to finish building out kind of a custom dash, getting rid of the Corvette one, and then I have some new NRG fixed back seats going in, and then I have a box over there somewhere with some 4-point harnesses. We got a harness bar that I'll put in it. It'll look really nice with the quick disconnect wheel and everything, but yeah, I'll have a simplified dash, and it's actually going to make it to where you can get in and out of the car a lot easier. It just moved it a lot more forwards. Yeah, so it's coming together. It's got a huge mess in the garage right now, so we'll just take it kind of a step at a time. Working on cutting the fabric out and getting this all put in. So this is where we're at right now. I've got the fabric in, and I've started doing the top part. So I got the top part wrapped over, and then I got the whole dash basically put in, and then I got the wiring ran. So what I'm going to do is put the hazards and the radio and the climate controls in that middle, or it's going to actually be on the where the passenger airbag used to be. And then I have all my extra pieces that are going to basically be the front. And then that's going to really have a lot more room. I mean, you can see just when I shut the door, you know, it looks a lot more normal with the way that actually looks right there. So yeah, it's coming together really nice. And then once I get this dash finished, then I'll put the seats in. And then one thing that's going to be really good about this is I welded some studs on there so that I can unbolt it. And then there's a lot of more structure and sound insulation that I put in there and heat shielding. So there's actually 2 layers versus just the one. So this is a lot better dash than when I had first put it together. So this actually will work substantially better than it was. Okay, I got the dash done. Looks really good. Okay, here's a good view of the dash after it's kind of put together here. So I got the seats out because I'll be putting the other seats in here in a second, but I have the original console in. I hooked up all the wires, and then I just capped it off and then built a little panel there, and then I'll put a cover to go over that vent hole, and then got everything else hooked up. Seems to be working, so I'll do a little bit of changes to it here, but it's way easier to get in and out of the car now, so it's a lot better. Corvette Focus. After I got the seats in, everything's great. It's driving great. Everything feels good with the new dash and everything, so it's a lot better driving position. Alright guys, I got the diffuser on. It's all mounted. It looks awesome. So it's on there with some brackets, and I welded some studs to it. So I mean, it's on there really, really good. It's really aggressive, super cool. I'm gonna finish up the exhaust, but we're coming along here. Okay guys, just got the garage cleaned up. Wanted to do a quick video of the diffuser. So here's it all put on. Got it all mounted up. It's really sturdy. I mean, I had the whole weight of the car on it to try to like level it out a little bit, but next step is going to be to build some exhaust tips. I did cut and weld these exhaust tips to move them over a little bit, but no, this came out so good. It's so awesome. Really aggressive, matches the rest of the car, so real excited to see how it ends up here. But yeah, super cool. We're just gonna do a little bit of a start with the new exhaust tips. So I got those welded on. So I had it battery unhooked so I could weld on things, but we'll get it started up here and see what it sounds like. Sounds pretty good.